Welcome to It's Natural. My name is PM. I have over 10 years experience in soap making. And make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and follow buttons. I would appreciate it. And if you stay to the end, I will have two ingredients that I use in my formulations that make the bars harder, bubblier. So if you can, please wait to the end to get that information. I do have a list of free downloads in the description for one is recipes, soap recipes. Number two is a list of supplies. And number three is a bonus for my personal list of suppliers that I use to get supplies from. So let's get started, shall we? Here is a list of ingredients. First off, we have lye, distilled water, natural oils, which also have butters can go in here. For instance, mango butter, shea butter, other oils such as avocado, essential oils, fragrance oils, and additives such as herbs and natural colorants such as pink Calayan clay, purple Calayan clay, blue Calayan clay, yellow Calayan clay, micas. The list goes on. You want to be cautious about herbs because they can turn brown and burn because of the heat, number one, and the chemical reaction that's taking place in the soaps can actually destroy all of your herbs in the process. For equipment, you want to make sure you have gloves, glasses, goggles. I have never had anything splash on the sides. I just wear my glasses. Digital scale, heat gun to make sure the temperature of your oils and your lye are at room temperature is the best, what I found. You want to have molds, heat resistant containers, stick blender, and spatulas. You want to make sure your area is prepped. I sprayed my hair area with either, I believe it's 100% rubbing alcohol. It might not. It might be just 99% rubbing alcohol. I spray my area. I also make sure all my tools are within arm's distance on each side of me and in front of me. So I do not have to move. I just move my arms in front of me and to the side of me. You want to make sure you have a well ventilated area. It is up to you if you want to wear a mask. It is not essential. And you want to make sure that you're taking all the safety precautions so nothing happens to you while you are conducting the lye process within the soap. Measure and melting your oils. I start with my butters. In that process, you can either use a melt and pour, not melt and pour, double boiler. If you want to use melt and pour, you can. Melt and pour, the only difference is it's already made for you. And it does have chemicals in it. It's not natural. They'll say, "Oh, it's made from a natural plant source," but it has petroleum in it. So make sure it is not melt and pour. So in order to melt your butters and the other items that need melted, there's two different processes you could do. You can do a double boiler. What is a double boiler? You would put water in a saucepan, put another bowl on top of the water in the saucepan, let it come to a nice boil, and so it's the ingredients is slowly melting. That works great. I've done that numerous times. Or you can use a microwave. If you're going to use a microwave, you need to make sure you're doing the microwave 40 to 60 second increments. After 60 seconds, take your product out, stir it, put it back in for 60 seconds, take it back out, stir it until it's all melted. You want to make sure it doesn't get overheated because you're going to lose valuable properties for your soap if you go ahead and melt it at a high temperature. You want to make sure that it is at a temperature that is slow heat. As you can look in the picture here, this is lye solution mixture with 5.70 ounces of water to 5.70 ounces of lye crystals. What I do is at night or the morning before I measure my water amount, I freeze my water. Now, in this process, wait to the end and you'll find the other two ingredients I put in the water before I freeze it. Then I will go ahead and slowly mix in the lye, but it is always after I freeze it. Okay? The reason for that is because I want to make sure the temperature stays low. The lower I keep the temperature when the lye is mixed in, the better. You'll be able to start your mixing everything together. Your oils and your lye are at the same temperature. It would be very beneficial if you have the water frozen. I've noticed a huge difference from room temperature water to freezer water or frozen water when doing my lye mixture. It does make a big difference. I've tried it both ways, and like lukewarm water, for some reason, you have to wait longer because there's no cooling. When the lye starts heating up, there's nothing to cool it down. So you're having to wait longer in order to put it in to your, what am I trying to say? Your oil mixture, because of the fact of it's just way too hot. You need to make sure when you are mixing your oils and your lye that the temperature is pretty much the same temperature for both the oils and the lye solution. It goes so much smoother. I've noticed if I'm 10% or 10 degrees, I should say, off, the soap fluctuates and it's just a hot mess. That's what my experience is. So combining your lyes and your oils, you want to make sure again to have the same temperature of your oil and lye. That completely affects the whole formulation. I've tried it cold, I've tried it room temperature, I've tried it lukewarm, and nothing except frozen for me works. Now, I know other people have done other things or maybe have cold water or lukewarm water, but I've noticed a complete difference. Now, in those instances, it could have also climate has a different effect on your soap. Humidity has a different effect on your soap. Everything around you, your atmosphere, everything has an effect on your soap. And be aware of that. How can you tell whether or not your lye and oils are mixing together? Now, if you look closely, you will see a darker color yellow running through this picture. That is oils that are not yet mixed together. What I would do is stick blend this one more time. I will then start seeing that all of the oils and the lye is coming together and it's becoming unison, one color. I will then look at the consistency. Number two, I would look at my stick blender to make sure no oil beads are running off of the stick blender. Number three, I would then go ahead and mix it one more time to make sure that it is coming to full trace. Adding essential oils and additives is really up to you. I really have a lot of people that like the unscented. So I sometimes do the essential oils and the additives, sometimes I don't. One of my tips is to anchor the scent and to make the scent be the show of your soap. You need to anchor it with a clay, some type of powder. I have noticed if I don't use some type of clay or powder in conjunction with the fragrance oil, it will not last for a long time. It will start fading into I would say the third week, it would start fading. And so that is one of my tricks. Anchor your fragrance oil with some type of clay or powder. Okay? And like I said again, I use not only clays, but I use micas. Micas don't anchor for some reason as well as powders and clays. But they do a little bit, but it's not significant to the amount of the essential oil. So let's do an example. Let's say I put in 2 ounces of essential oil without no anchor, without no powder, without no mica. You will notice the scent will fade over time. So if you buy a whole loaf, you can start having it smelling, oh, it's strong, but by the third bar you use, and you're like, oh, this doesn't smell at all. Because for one, it's evaporating. Number two, it's not has any anchor to it. So I even use spinach powder. Spinach powder is great for the skin and it is a good binder to that oil and keep that scent in the soap. Now it's pour time. You pour your trace mixture in the prepared molds. These 2 molds are 42-ounce molds, holding up to 10 or so 1-inch bars. Now, let's say you wanted to make them less than 1 inch, then you would probably be able to get 11 or 12 out. If they're a quarter or even a half of an inch, you can get probably 12 out of these loaves. I like a 1-inch bar, they're thicker. So my bars are 1 inch thick. They're about 2 inches high, I believe. They're pretty thick. Thank you for waiting to the end of the video. If you could see right here, I am cutting my bars of soap. This bar of soap is probably one of the best bars of soaps that I have made in a long time. This is my oatmeal harvest, which I make every year. I make it, I don't know how many times a year I make it, but I love making this and I make it better and better every year. Now, the only problem what I did was I actually got heavy-handed. And normally when it comes to honey, I just was squirting it in the bowl. I wasn't measuring, and I got heavy-handed and I put a little bit too much in this batch, which resulted in me having to wait probably about a week before my bars of soap started getting hard. My trick and my 2 ingredients that I use. Let's start with my trick here. What I do is I go ahead and cut my bars about 20 hours after. 20, 24, sometimes even 18, sometimes 16. As long as I can get it out of the mold and it's pliable and it doesn't look like it's sticking, I will take it out of the mold. To have the bars not have to cure for 4 to 6 weeks, here's my trick. I add salt and sugar to my water solution before I freeze it. I let it dissolve in the water and I put it in the freezer. Kabam. Why do I do that? For one, I like bubbles. The sugar, even though the coconut oil helps with the bubbles, the sugar, just a tiny bit, really helps with the lather. You get rich, thick bubbles, and oh, I don't know about you, but I really like bubbles. Number two, the salt keeps your bars hard and you can cut them and use them quicker. I have used my bars 24 hours after I have tested them with the pH balance and pH balance little strips. And all of the lye is neutralized out of it within 24 hours. So you can use a bar of soap 24 hours after you have cut your bars or taken them out of your mold. Why do people use the 4 to 6 week curing time? It's really up to you. If you use a water discount, you don't need to use 4 to 6 weeks for curing, because what happens in that 4 to 6 weeks is the water is evaporating out of the bar of soap in order to make it hard. But what I did was, one, my trick is to put salt in it to make the bars harder. Number two is that I'm making it so I'm cutting it and they can be used quicker. Now, have I used the same formulation and I let one bar or one loaf sit for 4 to 6 weeks? Yes. And compared it to the bar that I just cut? Yes. They both. So you've got one bar over here that is sitting to be cured for 4 to 6 weeks. Okay. So this is after 6 weeks. Then you have a bar that just got cut 24 hours in, right? I took them side by side. I did not see any difference, guys. Because I used such a water discount, that's my second trick. I used such a heavy water discount that I don't have to wait 4 to 6 weeks for that water to be pulled out, because the water was never inputted into the recipe in the beginning. So your bars are harder quicker, and because of that water discount, and I added salt to make it harder. Okay? Were the bars of soap, did they last longer from the 4 to 6 week curing and the one that's 24, 48 hours? They were the same, guys. They were the same. Depending upon how you use your soap will determine how long it'll last. I use my soap sometimes twice. I rub it over my body. I like the bubble sensation. So sometimes you just use it again. And even though I use it twice, maybe in the shower, I have not seen a difference in how long the bars last. My bars last at least 2.5 months, sometimes longer. I got some of my bars 3 months. I've used one bar of soap. Now, my bars are all purpose bars. Therefore, you can use it on your hair, your face, your body. So when that is an instance, I'm not washing my hair every day. I rinse it every day, but I don't wash it every day. My bars of soap make your hair squeaky clean. And if you have oily hair, it might take the oil away. And if you have other types of hair, I haven't really known it to strip the oils away, but I know for my hair, and my hair is extremely coarse, that it's squeaky clean. Okay? Thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. You got my tips, you got my tricks, you got the 2 other formula ingredients, and now it's time to like, subscribe, and share. Now it's time to click down bottom, get your free stuff, get your free ingredient list, get your supply list, and get started today. And then you can see all the bonus also down in the description for the vetted suppliers that I trust. I have dealt with every single supplier that I list in my list, and they are very good suppliers. So thank you for watching. Thank you for taking me along with your journey. If you have any questions, put it in the comments below. I'd be glad to answer as best I can. You know, soap changes every single time. Sometimes it can be really cumbersome with the temperature inside or outside, and some oils can be finicky, some fragrance oils can be finicky, but it's so much fun and relaxing that you've made something and you're actually using it. I use mine every single day. I wash my face with it, my whole body, and like I said, I use it for my hair as well. My hair is extremely long. It's down to my waist. So I want to thank you again for taking us along with your journey. And if there's anything I can help you assist, make sure you put a comment in the descriptions. Until next time, make sure you hit these other videos to watch as well. Bye for now.